Welcome to the first session of the online course in marketing management. In this session, we'll talk about what marketing is, the different marketing philosophies that are prevalent in the marketplace, what you might need actually, what might you be expected to do as a marketing manager, and then further how that might depend on the organizational structure of the company. Now, before we do that, let me quickly give you a sense of the course, what you can expect from this course, what I expect from you, so that moving forward, we are all on the same page. Now, once we get these administrative preliminaries out of the way, then we can actually dive into what marketing is and the rest of the agenda for this particular session. All right. So here is the agenda for this session. As I mentioned, I want to first go over some administrative details. Once we wrap those up, then I'll share my views on marketing itself, the different philosophies that we're going to talk about, as well as the job of marketing and how that might depend on the structure of the firm. But first, let me begin by letting you know what to expect from this course. So this is an introductory graduate course in marketing. And given the nature of the course, given that it's an introductory class, I'll expose you to a variety of issues in marketing, but with an understanding that we will not be able to discuss any of these issues or topics at great depth. So what I mean by that is that we'll talk about the relevant issues in, for example, in product development, marketing research or pricing, and then further devote a session or two, but maybe not more than that. And each of these topics could be and can be explored in our graduate electives over a semester-long course. And I only want to give you the basic understanding because I cannot do full justice to all these topics in an introductory class. So what I do hope is to expose you to each of the issues and help you recognize the need to think of these topics in a holistic way so that we can come up with a structured way of addressing the marketing challenges. Now, to this effect, we will develop an understanding of how the 3 C's of marketing work, which are the customer, the competition, and the company, and how these 3 C's may affect the 4 P's of marketing, that are the product, price, placement, and promotion, which essentially are the decisions that the manager or the company can control. Now, to enhance our understanding of this interrelationship between the 3 C's and the 4 P's, we will certainly be analyzing several cases in this course. Now, the details of which these cases which we're going to discuss and when they are scheduled is still to be discussed, and you will find it in the syllabus. Now, you will also have the opportunity to apply what you've learned in a term project. And in the term project, essentially, you and your team will come up with an idea for either a new product or a service and write a marketing plan to take it to the market. Again, the details can be found in the syllabus. And finally, last but not the least, I also hope to pique your curiosity in marketing sufficiently so that you find this as an interesting and exciting and a challenging area to pursue in the future and would consider taking some advanced courses in the topics that may interest you more. Now, as far as the grade distribution is concerned, so essentially there are 2 group assignments and 2 exams. And the case report and the term project reports are each worth about 20% of your overall grade. The midterm exam accounts for, again, 20%, while the final will account for 30%. And participation in the case discussions is going to be worth 10%. Now, it's your responsibility to stay on top of the case discussions schedule so that you can participate during the discussion window. And I say this because once the discussion closes, you will not be given the option of posting your thoughts thereon. So make sure that you must pay full attention to the schedule once it's out. And we'll certainly talk more about this later. Okay, so now group assignments. As I mentioned earlier, you will be doing 2 group assignments in this course. The first one is a case report. We will be discussing 5 cases in this course. They are all Harvard Business cases, which you will need to purchase directly from Harvard Business School. And I'm going to provide you a link to this case packet at the beginning of the course so that you have some time. You can get your case packets on time. Now, the first case that we will discuss is going to be a practice case. And this should give you a very good sense of how we will be discussing the case online, and also give you an idea of how to go about writing the report. So your group essentially will need to decide which one of the other 4 cases to write a report on, and the reports will be due before we start the case discussion. So please make sure that you check the due dates again, which will be specified in the syllabus. So each case discussion will have a separate discussion board, which will remain active during the days we discuss the case. And once the discussion period is over, you will not be able to make any posts. So please make sure again that you check the syllabus and make sure that you participate in the case discussions in a timely manner. The second group assignment is your term project, where your group will come up with an idea for a new product or a service and write a marketing plan. Now, this will be due at the end of the semester. Again, the details on the term project and the write-up are detailed in the syllabus. Now, before these group assignments, you will need to be part of a group. Of course, you can't even think of these group assignments till you have a group yourself. Now, for that, the course page has a group sign-up sheet. The number of members that I want in each group will be determined by the size of the class. But certainly I would like to, you guys to keep in mind is that no group should have more than 6 students. Okay, please keep the number to fewer than 6 to the extent possible. And then make sure that you sign up early so that you can contribute to the group effort. And I expect to have about 8 to 10 groups in the semester. So, but the number that you need to remember is that your group should not have more than 6 students. Okay. Also, I would like to keep the number of groups that write a report on any given case to 2 or 3. So, I will require each group to send me their top 3 choices. You can turn in your groups top 3 choices on e-learning, and I will make sure I'll make every effort to assign you your top choice. But in the event more than 3 groups have the same case as their top choice, I'm going to just toss and break the tie. So please refer to the syllabus on when you will need to turn in your case preferences. Again, thanks so much for your group assignments. Now, as far as the case discussions are concerned, now because this is an online class, I want us to be all on the same page as to how I will do the case discussions. And I mentioned earlier, I will conduct the case discussion over a 3 or a 4-day period. For example, I might start the case discussion on a Wednesday, and I may end it on a Sunday. I will post questions on each day to facilitate the discussion. Now, these questions are just meant to get us thinking about the issues that are raised. So the idea is not just to answer the questions, but it's more to think of related issues as well. So it's pertinent that you participate in the case discussions. Your contribution to the case discussion will really determine your participation grade. And please refer again to the syllabus for the guidelines on how to participate in the case discussions and see what I expect in the case discussions before you participate in the case discussion. So make sure you refer to the syllabus guidelines again. And I would like to keep the case discussions very meaningful. I'm again pointing out to this effect, I want to avoid redundancy. And please be sure to read all the posts before you post so that your posts offer some additional value, some additional insight over and above what has already been said. Please do not post for the sake of posting, because if a point has already been made, simply stating that you agree or disagree, I don't think that can constitute a meaningful post. It does not constitute a meaningful post. I don't think it's going to add additional value. But certainly, if you justify why you agree or not, certainly will add a lot of value. So anytime you agree or disagree to any prior comment or any prior post, you must make sure that you justify your argument there. All right, so now let's talk about the discussion of the lecture material. So in addition to the discussion board for the cases, there is also a separate discussion board where you can post questions for me or comments on the material in the session. And again, to keep the discussion current, you must post questions on any session. Try to post it within a couple of weeks of the session, and do not delay and do not wait till the very last minute to seek any clarification on any issues discussed in the lectures or cases. So please stay current on that. And that's my request. Okay, so now let's talk about, again, a very important component, your self-assessment quizzes. Now, each chapter has a quiz that is meant for self-assessment. Okay, so these quizzes do not count towards your final grade directly, but certainly will help you master the material and certainly help you prepare for your exams. So certainly these are going to be valuable. You are certainly going to find these quizzes very valuable because it'll just help you prepare for your exam in a more organized way. And it'll also give you an idea of what kinds of questions that you could expect on the exams. All right, so now what to expect on the exams is certainly a very interesting question. So what you can expect on the exams and what material will each exam cover? Let's see, as I mentioned earlier, there are two exams, the midterm and the final. Now, each exam will have a mix of multiple choice and a few, maybe two or three short questions. Again, the self-assessment quizzes on each chapter will give you a very good idea of the kind of questions to expect. And regarding the content that you will be tested on, the midterm exam will cover all the material covered before the midterm, while the final will be the material covered after the midterm. So it's not a comprehensive exam. The final is not going to be comprehensive. Now, details on whether you can take the exam online or whether it will be proctored, well, it can be found on the syllabus. So far, this is all I have as far as the administrative details are concerned. And should you have any additional questions, please refer to the syllabus, which is a lot more detailed. Certainly, if there are still any residual questions that are still remaining, please feel free to use the discussion board and I'll try and clarify anything that I may have missed. So with that, I want to wrap up the intro lecture and hope you find this session meaningful. Thank you.